Hi guys, so you may have seen in a recent video I unboxed and used this Photon Mono M7 Pro. Awesome little printer, but obviously one thing I'm always saying is I am very short on space. And for the unboxing I did this in the middle of my living room. Obviously I can't put the printer there all the time, so I've got mine against the wall here, but as you can see with the lid it's a bit difficult getting it on and off. Especially when there's going to be a print on there, I won't be able to pull it off. So the plan is I'm going to do what I've done with a recent printer, and that is I'm going to convert the lid so I can put it against the wall, but rather than lifting the lid up and off, I can just pull part of it off. And to do this, yeah, it's simply a case of cutting it in half. So I did this with a previous printer, and a lot of you guys wanted, well, to know more details and to see me actually doing it. So rather than doing this in the quiet, yeah, I am, well, as you can see, I'm doing it, well, in front of you guys now. Apologies if you can hear a lot of noise in the background. It's quite warm today, so I've got the window open. But yeah, there's some traffic going out. So as you can see, yeah, a bit of masking tape. I've drawn a line round the whole thing. And now I'm going to use this sort of cheap Dremel tool. And a Hoover. The Hoover, obviously, just to sort of suck up any sort of the plastic that comes off. Just because, well, I don't want to be breathing any of this in if it does come off. And it does make a bit of a mess on the old desk. So carefully going along my line. Obviously there is going to be a little bit of a slant on this set because I can't have the drill sort of upright fully, but that's not too bad because basically these two pieces of plastic are just going to butt up towards each other at the very end. And yeah, it's as simple as this. This is all I did last time, was just went around the whole thing, taking my time, and bosh, cut the thing in half. Obviously it is quite messy on the edges and, well, pretty sharp, the old plastic. So I'm using a very fine sandpaper, just doing the edges. Obviously I don't want to sandpaper the whole of the screen because I want it to still look nice. And then yeah, the two bits in halves. So the back bit will always kind of stay there. And the front bit, yeah, it just butts up against the back bit. And when I need to, I can just pull the thing off forwards. So there's no need to put it up or down. Meaning, yeah, I can have this anywhere, which is pretty awesome. So if you did see the first video of me using this, you'd have seen me use the high-speed resin. And, well, this stuff is just amazing. Yeah, it means you can print very fast. In fact, I did a miniature in about 20 minutes, which is just crazy. So I thought rather than doing just the one miniature, I'll do something a little bit better. And I'm going to print off the whole Ork combat patrol box. Obviously I'm using sort of proxy models for this. One of my favourite places to go is Puppets War Miniatures. They do a whole range of orks, and as we all know, yeah, I love orks. So I'm using these ones. That's the Orks Gunners, but also going to use these Rocket Orks. I'm not going to use any of the jetpacks that are on the back, but obviously these guys, I love the fact they are, well, rather muscly, and they do come with shooters and the old knives and stuff. So yeah, do a bit of a mix and matching. Should make for a nice sort of team. So I'm going to be printing out 20 of these bad boys. I say I'm going to basically copy the Ork Combat Patrol box, which I think gives me around about 500, maybe 550 points of orks. And as you can see, yeah, I have packed them on. So the Photon Mono M7 Pro, yeah, it's a medium sort of sized printer. But as you can see, yeah, I've got as many as I can on there, which in this case happens to be the 20. There was a lot of moving around just to make sure I can get every single piece on there and making sure they're not obviously, well, hitting another piece. And the great thing with this printer, which I'm sure you can do with the other printers, but I didn't know about it, I am going to be printing straight from my computer. So no need to put things on a USB. I can just connect it all together on the old cloud and yeah, transfer files from where I'm sitting, which is just pretty cool. So no messing about with a USB at all. Just push a few buttons, it sends it off. The printer receives it, and yeah, Bob's your auntie, Fanny's your uncle, all that kind of business, and away she pops. And the other great thing about doing it this way, you can always keep an eye on what's actually happening with the printer rather than getting up, going checking it. Yeah, everything is displayed online or on screen, which is just really cool. So with a lot of the footage I do here, guys, I do speed things up quite a bit. I still haven't quite got the software to be able to do the time-lapse or hyperlapse filming. Not that you'd see much, because obviously these miniatures, well, they are just that. They are still miniatures. So, under an hour later, and yeah, I have got 20, well, cool looking orks ready to paint, prime, all the rest of it. So in this video, I am literally just going to be printing all of these out. I will be painting these in another video, so keep an eye out for that. Although I am considering doing some live streams, because there are so many orks. Yeah, we'll do a live stream of me, painting them. So taking them off, as you can see, yeah, I have put gloves on now because I will be man-handling these. And they are still, well, they're still full of loads of resin. That's why these need to go into a wash station, which I'll be putting them in any moment now. But yeah, so the adhesion, so these prints are super fast. But as you can see here, yeah, they are stuck on there rather tightly. So now they're going to go into the washing station. So just put them all in this little bucket. They've had a good old wash. And I feel like I'm in a fish and chip shop. So yeah, this is the big basket. Obviously, as you can see, in the bottom I have put some finer mesh. Just because all the baskets I've ever had with any kind of wash and cure station, well, they have big holes. Which is fine for most things. But you get like little ork heads. And, well, these little things can pop through the gaps. So yeah, I put a bit of mesh down the bottom there. Just to make sure I don't lose any bits. So now it's just a case of giving them a wash. Obviously, two reasons why I do the wash. One, as you can see, yeah, it still gets rid of some of the resin that's on there. But it also softens up the supports, making it so much easier to, well, pull the suckers off. So even though I have been sort of assembling, painting, making sort of warhammer stuff, I've never had an army. So this could be the first time I might actually print an army out. As I say, this sort of, the combat patrol box, it's around about 500 points-ish. So I'm going to print more off, as what I'd like to do is, well, maybe have an army of up to about 2,000 points. So guys, help me out. Yeah, what do I need? And more importantly, what clan should these be? When it comes to painting them, I kind of want to make them look like sort of army soldiers. So that's why the heads I put on these have all got like the old berets on. So yeah, whatever clan you guys think would suit an army, like a World War II army or even like a normal sort of army, yeah, let me know, and that can help me decide sort of what colour style I'll paint these in. So getting all the bits and pieces, yeah, trying to separate them up into heads, body parts, left arms, right arms. Didn't print any bases out because, well, as you all know, normally I go with clear bases, which means I've got hundreds of Warhammer bases sitting in a drawer. So I'm going to use these for these because I don't know what kind of terrain these are going to be on. So my plan is, again, to put these on bases. I'm going to do a simple kind of base, but I'm going to make it look like they could be, well, on a desert, on a grassland. Not too sure yet. Again, this could be where you guys come in and let me know what clan these should be. That might determine just exactly how I paint all the bases. And then, yeah, just a case of, well, gluing everything together. So, loads of little arms, loads of weapons. And the great thing about the 3D printing stuff, you can really mix and match however you want, which is just awesome. And yes, guys, I know I do say awesome quite a bit because, well, I do think this is just awesome. As I say, it's orks. I love orks. But it's the fact of how fast I can print out a whole combat patrol box. So towards the end, I will let you know just how much resin I've used, how much that's cost, how much it's cost me to actually buy the miniatures. So yeah, so when it comes to 3D printing, in the long run, yes, it is a whole lot cheaper. If you're just going to print off a few minis here and there, then, well, no, you're probably better off buying them from, well, your local game stores, really. But say, if you're going to print off big armies, so I'm going to do about a 2K army, but the fact I've got a 3D printer, once you've got these soldiers, you can just print off as many as you want. So again, I've got the 3 helicopters here. It's almost like a game of Jenga, to try and make everything fit on the board without things overlapping. Yeah, it is a case of just moving things around, squeezing them in, because again, I wanted to try and print this out in as few as prints as I could, and just to do it as quickly as I could, just to show what kind of speeds are achievable with the Photon Mono M7 Pro, and not just the fast speed, but the quality of the prints. So if you see my recent video, yeah, I was printing things out crazy fast, but at a layer height of 0.1, which isn't too bad, but you can still see layer lines up close. Again, from a distance, I couldn't see them at all. Go check the video out, guys. It's only a few weeks old, and so you'll be able to see just how good the prints are, even at the 0.1. So when it comes to doing terrain, yeah, I'll always do terrain at 0.1. These are printed out at 0.05. But yeah, it's still super fast, which is amazing. So, like with the ork gunners, it's just a case of rinse and repeat, quite literally. Putting all the pieces in the wash, then going in some warm water, pull off the old supports, and then stick them in the curing station, which obviously cures them, as the name implies, and then yeah, they are ready to paint. But as I say, no painting in this video, which is going to be quite surprising, as I think this is probably the first video in, well, maybe forever, that I've not actually painted anything. And the reason being, yeah, there's a lot here to paint. And as I say, I am considering doing some live streams now and then just to get these bad boys painted. So don't forget to let me know in the comments, yeah, which clan you think they should be. As probably the main colour I'm going to be going with. Obviously, they're going to be green screens. But I'm thinking kind of like browns for, well, for their outfits and everything else, really. And again, yeah, just gluing everything together. So the good thing with these things, you can really mix and match. I mean, I'm sticking with the 3 original kind of ork copters from this set. But yeah, you can mix and match, change them out, add more weapons, whatever you need to do, really. Oh, one thing I haven't mentioned so far, again, if I was to play Warhammer 40k, yeah, it would just be with some mates. So we would be using the rule of cool, which is why I'm more than happy to substitute out, well, the miniatures for ones that are similar, if not maybe nowhere near. So yeah, if you look at the Ork Combat Patrol box, it's made up of the War Boss in Mega Armour, 20 Ork Boys, 3 Copters, and 1 Death Dread. So I managed to get all of this onto 3 separate build plates, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, printing time was under 3 hours, which I thought was just absolutely amazing. And this is where 3D printers really do come into their own, in the fact of being able to print out, say, if you wanted to go for like a 5k army or a 10k army, then yeah, this is going to save you an absolute shed load of money. I know there is a big outlay on buying a printer, but as you've seen these days, yeah, printers have come down so much in price, as with the resin as well. So it's definitely more affordable to, well, everyone out there. And the fact that there are so many different types of printers, as in sizes of printers and the price range of printers. So I say the one I've gone for, the Photon Mono M7 Pro, it's definitely the sort of medium range one. So a medium size build plate and a medium kind of price. So the resin with this is obviously the big deal here. The high speed resin, meaning that I can print at a much faster speed. And yeah, without any quality loss at all in the detail. So that's everything printed. I say under 3 hours is just mental. So I'm going to keep a nice simple base with these. I'm just going to add some stones. So my plan is when I do come to paint these, I'm going to put a few little tufts of grass here and there, but paint these stones a kind of a brownish colour, I guess. Yeah, just to make them look like they're, well, in the trenches, I guess. So when it comes to the cost of the resin, I probably used just over 1 litre bottle on all of these. And say the fast resin, well, that comes in at £50, which is, yeah, it's quite steep. But again, if you're after speed, then it's awesome. But to print these out normal sort of speed, the normal resin you get for half that price, around about £25. But if you go on the anycubic website, they are doing a 3 for the price of 2 on all their resin at the moment. So I'll leave some links down below. So yeah, if you're not in any rush, go for normal resin. Obviously half the price. Takes twice as long, but doesn't matter. You're saving yourself money. But say, I just wanted to try out printing super fast just to see how quick I can print an army. And I'll probably be doing the same again when I come to doing, I might do like a 1k army or 1.5k army. And yeah, see how quick I can print it, as well as obviously doing an option to see just how cheap I can print it. I hope you like the videos, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff. If there's any kind of armies you want to see me print, or any other sort of combat patrol boxes you want to see me print out, let me know. I'll have a little dig around, see if I can find the files, and yeah, just see how much it will cost. I say I will do sort of price comparisons with normal resin, ABS resin, and in this case super fast resin, but I absolutely love it. So yeah, for the first time in 4 years I might actually have a full proper army. Now just to work out all the rules and find someone to play with. Okay guys, you'll take care. Bye for now.